So this next one is about you personally. How are you holding up under all this pressure? Are you getting time to do some thinking? Are you getting enough sleep at night? Again, I've been there, and it is so very, very hard. And your many fans, and I am one of them, we do have worries.
What's up, guys? It's the
Who is that? Who is that?
We'll have to come back to talk about that clip in a moment here.
I don't even know who that is.
That is a lot to that was David Petraeus and an Al-Qaeda murderer-in-chief, Ahmed al-Shara, aka Mohammed al-Jawlani. I'm sorry, Abu Mohammed al-Jawlani.
Oh, okay.
We're speaking with former General David Petraeus. And that's a lot to unpack in that clip. So we'll come back to that in a minute. But hey, first off, welcome guys to the live stream. And of course, I'm sure you've all heard the news, and we're praying that there are, that people pull through in Grand Blanc, because the body count keeps changing and we don't know. But
it's up. Last I heard was 2, not including the.
I heard 3, but that might have included the shooter too.
That probably included the shooter, or the driver / shooter, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we've got some things to talk about on that subject as far as terrorism goes, so we'll come back to that. But first off, it's good to have you on the show again, Pat. I haven't had any guests in a while.
I know, it's been a while. It's tough, man. At work, I gotta have my my day job pays the bills. So, and in person 4 days a week now, and it's a it's a lot.
Well, I have no such inhibitions. So
happy to be here, though.
Yeah, well, one of the stories that we get to cover, because I didn't go, was the Mackinac conference. That was not the last weekend, but the one before that. And I was thinking to the last minute I might go, and then actually I did remember that I had a puppy that just got spayed, and so I just stay at home and make sure she didn't, do anything to her stitches or nothing. So at the end, my decision was made for me, but I was kind of uneasy about going. It's not my cup of tea, those kind of events. I usually, if I go, it's because there's some political reason I need to.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it went well. Apparently, better than the one with Christina Caramo a couple of years ago.
They had twice as many people. They had ended up with over 1,000, which I think 2 years ago the number I heard was 450. So they've doubled since the scoring, the year they scored.
That was something about how many they had on that list last time.
1, 2, 3, 4. So, hey, Norm LaChance, no shout outs.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't have my comment window open. So here we go. Hey, Mark, hey, Norm. Good to see you guys there. And we're watching on Rumble.
Norm is, my worlds are colliding. Norm is one of my Drew and Mike friends. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right
so, anyway.
So the event? I do have the straw poll, but I mean, how are things in general as far as guests and stuff like that?
How are in general with what? I'm sorry.
How were the events? I wasn't actually there. Was there good events there?
I mean, this is my first time there. Really, I went 4 years ago. I went up Thursday and I left Friday morning, so I didn't really experience it. So, it's just there's a lot of overlap. It's really hard to choose. So I put everything because I'm a geek on the Google Calendar, so I could see all the overlap and where I'm going to go, and then you have also, the official itinerary of speakers, and, Friday night ran very late. So I really wanted to get to Doug Lloyd's party, and I didn't get a chance to get to that. But Friday night it was a really good lineup. They had Christy Nome, and then some Rick Grinnell. I know you don't much care
about him. Sounds great so far. Who else did they have in this stuff?
Rick Grinnell, Chris LaCivita.
Oh boy.
He was really good. And then and then Clay Travis was amazing. So that was really funny, because if Clay actually has some ties to Michigan. His wife went to Lasser, and then she went to U of M. So and they met in Tennessee at law school at UT. So so he came into the room, and he's been kind of trashing Michigan lately. So he like walked in and everyone's clapping or whatever. And he said something, and I yelled out, "Go Blue." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, go Blue. Maybe you guys can win without cheating," or I don't something, whatever. And so, but anyway, it was a really good speech. And then so he hung around after too. We got to say hi to him, but it definitely ran over. Kristi Noem she's awesome. Like, she can just speak. She was just standing there, hands in pockets, just talking and just taking questions from the floor, not scripted, answered everything. Like, she's really good. And then Rick Grinnell did kind of shorten his speech. They asked him to shorten it, and he did. And then La Civita was more like a Q&A. So there was somebody, I don't remember the gentleman's name, that was asking him questions about the campaign, and he gave some good insights. So for anyone who didn't go or wants to watch it again, the Midwesterner Facebook page did stream it, so you can go back and watch it. And then Saturday, it started really early at 8 o'clock. I don't know if you saw the picture, like one of the Hoft brothers was there from Gateway Pundit, and there was only like 5 people in attendance, but like 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then
not a good time to do an event when everyone's been staying up all night drinking on Friday.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people probably did, I was, but
fair number, I'm sure. I've
yeah,
been there before.
Yeah. And so then it got a little more crowded. Then it was like the election integrity panel. So HEMA was on that. And then also Paul Jacobs, who is involved with Americans for Citizen Only Voting. You can see my little sign over there on my shoulder. So I met Paul Jacobs. That was exciting. Then 1:15 was Sarah Hubbard, U of M regent. She was phenomenal. And she, the room got packed by then. And she just basically gave a speech, like everything she and all the regents have gone through on campus, right? With all these protests and all these things going on. I mean, she had a presentation that I saw a few months ago at a Lakes Area Tea Party meeting, and she had newer content. So, I mean, as things were going, she was just putting like, the screen clipping of the article. So, and I mean, they're going after both sides. They don't care. They went to her house. They went to Jordan Acker's house. These people don't care. They were throwing urine-filled jars through Jordan Acker's living room windows. So yeah, these are all the, the U of M Free Palestine people. So anyway, so.
Well, I hope she'll join the chorus in calling for defunding U of M for all the incredible, atrocious things they've been doing against Charlie Kirk and his memory and supporting terrorism. We'll talk about that tonight.
Well, she did reply to my tweet. I don't know if you saw that, but I don't know whatever came of it, and I didn't get a chance to ask her about that. But
we mentioned in the show last week that they refused to fly the flag at half staff for Charlie Kirk, despite.
Somebody said they saw one of the other flags half, though, maybe down by the stadium.
I don't know. The one on the diag's the flag. That's
the flag, the one on the mall. Yeah. So anyway. Yeah, maybe they were trying to like look to like the football fans like they were doing it, but they really weren't. Who knows? But so that was 1:15. Then they had a really good panel with our congressional delegation, and they were all there. And then hey Barry. So that was like that's the 7. So it was Lisa McLean, and she was interviewing all the guys, and it was good. And I think maybe before Kristi Noem was like Ann Bolin, and so our Michigan House leadership. And then I didn't see the Senate leadership one or the Michigan issues, which was most of the gubernatorial candidates. Those were Saturday, and I kind of regret it. Like I left there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to start hitting up some of these parties. And I wish I would have stayed actually and heard more of the conference instead of going to the parties. But live and learn, but it was great. I mean, I highly recommend it. You guys, there's some people that I talked to after said, they would have gone, they had no one to room with or whatever. So I'm going to make more of an effort in 2 years to make sure people if they want to go, they have someone to stay with or, whatever. I think it's cool. And back in the heyday of Ron Weiser, I guess we used to get like 2,500 people up there, Michonne said. So
back in the heyday of Ron Weiser, we used to have lots more people that showed up.
Yeah.
Although that wasn't the other thing too is there are still some establishment forces in the state party that are attacking Jim Runstead that don't want him to succeed. He's a lot better equipped for the job than Christina Karamo was, but there's a fair number of high-profile consultants that don't want to support Jim Runstead. They don't want him to succeed. So
yeah, that's not cool. But
yeah.
But anyway, so that was it. But yeah, they had the straw poll was sponsored by the Midwesterner.
Yeah, so I've got the results from that, so we can look at those.
Yeah, you got a link. So many text messages. Oh my gosh! But yeah, so
there was apparently only 492 attendees took the straw poll, but
here's the problem with that. And if anyone's watching from Midwesterner, or they only sent the link once. They sent several reminders, but they never sent the link again to take the straw poll. They only sent that in the first text. So I had to search through my text, look for the word participating, and it popped up. So otherwise, unless what if somebody deleted that first text, then they never got the link again. So that's something that could be improved next time if they want more participation. But 500 is not bad, I guess.
No, it's enough for a good sample. And besides, I like making it so that people, if they don't know how to follow simple instructions, they don't vote. So
yeah,
Randy says many things didn't get the link, so that's unfortunate. But
yeah, and it was texted out. As far as I know, it was only texted. I didn't check email, so yeah. But
ordinarily these straw polls have polls for candidates for president. I guess this one did have that, but But I think it's a lot less of an open race than it would have been 4 years ago or 8 years ago. So, or 16 years ago, I suppose. Showing my age, going back on the Mackinac conference. Where the campaigns literally all drove their people up to go to Mackinac just to vote in the straw poll.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, the first thing is the Trump approval rating. No surprise here.
Yeah.
Because if people are in the disapproved camp, they probably just wouldn't go to Mackinac.
That could be. Well, I mean, I know some people there that probably put a disapprove if they took it. But yeah, for the most part, I gave him a mild lead. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
So that was that. No surprise there. This result. So this is, on one hand, really encouraging to see J.D. Vance, who appears to share Trump's values, beating the daylights out of Marco Rubio, who shares none of Trump's values and has spent his entire term sabotaging Trump's presidency. But 12% still voted for Rubio. So there is that. Didn't do well for Kristi Noem, unfortunately, but even though she was actually there. And DeSantis came in a distant third. Well, not too far behind Rubio, but hey, that's what happens when you run against Trump 4 years earlier.
Yeah, you know what? If he wouldn't have done that, it could have been a different story. But
yeah, it's too bad. He's been a fantastic governor. He's actually kept his promises.
Yeah,
been really great.
Yeah, I agree.
Vance, well, we'll see. Well, I mean, again, this is very early. Who knows how things will shake out between now and even 2 years from now. But there's the results. There's J.D. Vance well ahead. And certainly anytime Rubio's getting the snot beat out of him, I'm happy to see that. So there's that. Next, we have the governor race. This is interesting because the public polling we've seen, and I haven't seen anything very recently, but the official mass media polls have been showing John James well ahead of the competition, but not among Republican activists. And let's be clear.
Not among people who are in the know, right?
Yeah, and let's be clear. This is an audience of Republican activists. So not just the general public. And here we have Eric Nesbitt in first place, followed not too far behind by Tom Leonard, followed then by Mike Cox, former attorney general, long time ago at this point. Then John James in a very poor showing in fourth place, Ralph Rebrandt with 5%, Carla Wagner, professional grifter, with 4.6%. Hudson, I forget his first name, he ran 4 years ago. He was the guy who was had some views that were not popular among Republicans, and 4.4% for other. So a big win for Eric Nesbitt.
Yeah.
And frankly, if because of funding and the media and name ID that the race shapes up to be that John James is the candidate to beat, then this is a sign to activists that Nesbitt's the best pick to beat James, which is a distinct possibility. Now, I personally love Tom Leonard. He was the best speaker they've had in the state legislature, personality-wise, and who I think would be a better governor. I'd take Leonard over Nesbitt any day. But Leonard also has a history of losing high-stakes races, including losing the race for attorney general. First to Dana Nessel, and then in the nomination to Matt DePerno. I want to say that was 4 years ago.
Randy Guppy has a good point there about the panel. He went to that panel, yeah.
It appeared that Leonard was the best received. I was surprised that Nesbitt won that poll. Nesbitt was undoubtedly very well organized. And the thing also to know about politics is that when you're in office, you're a somebody. When you're out of office, you're a nobody again. And Eric Nesbitt is still in office, and Tom Leonard hasn't been for, I think, 6 years now. 6 or more. So that's the way that goes. And the fact is there are a lot of people in Lansing that still know and like Tom Leonard, but they're going to be with Nesbitt because he's the Senate Minority Leader.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at between Rebant and Wagner, they have almost 10%. Like,
yeah, but that's the Karamo crowd. Who cares? That's not going to be much of a difference. I mean, clearly,
I don't know who it is, but
I mean, the majority of movement Republicans are with Nesbitt, Leonard, and Cox is a respectable showing too. I don't know. I talked to an old buddy of mine who knew Mike Cox like from way back in the day, and he was like, "Yeah, Mike Cox he was not a Ron Paul supporter, but he was a free thinker as Republicans go." And Mike Cox, he was the Attorney General in what, like, I want to say like 2006, 2007.
I don't remember. I just remember Drew and Mike had a funny commercial about him on the show. Norm, are you still watching?
Okay, yeah, he served as Attorney General from 2003 to 2011. He's been out. I mean, his wife's been in office for a time.
She was state chair too at some point, right?
Yeah, Laura Cox was state chair before.
Oh, good point, Randy. Yeah, good point, Randy.
Randy says Ralph and Carla won't make the ballot. Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, he made it last time though, didn't he, Ralph?
I think maybe he did actually. I think maybe he did.
Yeah.
But anyway, that for Mike Cox, who has been for a long time, to do that well in the poll is, pretty good.
He had a good presence up there, and his party was. Matt says Mike Cox did win a statewide race. Yes, that's true.
A long time ago though. So.
Yeah, I don't remember what year that was, but
I don't hate Mike Cox, although I don't like his wife at all. But
I mean, he did sue Plymouth Township.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the attorney of record for Northville Downs.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway, so there's the results. Who knows? We'll see how the governor's race shapes up in the next year or so. But I am happy to see John James do that poorly. He came in fourth out of,
he didn't even go to the Michigan issues panel. He bailed on it.
Conference at all?
He was there. He sat in on the congressional panel, but he was supposed to also be on the issues one, and he bailed.
Yeah.
Which is his reputation, right?
Yeah, he's got more important things to do than talk to the rubes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then there is the Attorney General race. I must confess, I don't know the first name of this Lloyd character.
Doug Lloyd. He is a county prosecutor.
Okay.
In Eaton County, I think.
Okay. Well, it's a small to mid-sized county, I suppose.
He's got the endorsement of 52 county prosecutors.
Oh, all right. Well, I don't know much about it. Is it Kajewski? Is that how you pronounce
Kevin Kajewski, yeah. He was
usually those names are pronounced like
for one of the electors. I don't know which one offhand. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I'm undecided. DePerno, though, is not officially announced, guys. So, I mean, they put him on there as officially announced, but he's not. So,
well, even still.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about DePerno enough times on this show not to go back into that again. And then for Secretary of State, we have Monica Yatuma in the lead. I don't know the first name of Love. I forgot. I've heard it before. Amanda Love. Where's she from? Do you know?
Amanda Love is Oakland County. She's worked in the Secretary of State's office. I think she was in the Terry Lynn Land Administration. I don't know what her role was. She has won election in the school board. I think she sits on a school board right now, I believe. And she's also won campaigns like behind the scenes as a campaign manager. So, yeah.
So there's that. And Anthony Forlini, I just got an email from him saying, we did so great in the straw poll considering we didn't even announce that we were running. And so many people just wanted me to run, as if his campaign had no organization and no plans to get people in Mackinac to vote for him. But
I don't think so. It was just him and his campaign manager, Mike. And they were walking around talking to people, and so I think by that point he was probably really close to to announcing anyway. So that's who I wrote in. I mean,
I don't have any strong preference for any of these people. I don't know who Smith is. Do you know who Smith is? I do know Forlini. Yeah. He was a state representative for a time. I think
Forlini is hands. I mean, objectively.
And now he's a county.
He's objectively the most qualified candidate. I should say. I shouldn't say the only, but he's objectively the best choice.
Yeah, he's a county clerk. He's been a county clerk.
Macomb County Clerk. Yeah.
Yep.
So nothing personal to anybody else, obviously, but.
Norm, I'm not sure I understand this question. Related to Norm Yatuma?
I don't know. It's a big family, Norm. I'm not sure. The Yatuma family, it's a big family.
Well, there you go. Those are the results of the Mackinac straw poll, folks.
I was corrected by Polak Matt Wilk that it is Kashevsky, not Kajewski.
Kashevsky? Yeah. I thought it was something like that.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. Barry Altman says Smith is a young Iowan Macomb. Okay. Don't quite know what that means, but all right. Dwayne Zantop says, I saw Forlini Thursday. Very impressed. There you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that's the Mackinac conference. Now, so let's get back to where we started with the top of the show here. And in fact, there's a comment.
Who's a lawyer, Barry?
Oh, that must be what he meant to type when he said Smith is a young lawyer in Macomb. I think.
No, he's not.
Okay. Well, no. I don't know.
Smith. Wait. No, Timmy Smith? He's not a lawyer. He's a auto worker.
Well, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
There's that.
Yeah.
So the other thing I want to talk about today, because it's been on my mind all week and driving me bonkers. And Mark, you will have to probably you're welcome to elaborate on this, buddy, saying, be careful, Miss Patty, with Adam, because of his anti-Trumpism, although I must say he's been getting better recently. Well, Mark, let's go back to this clip.
Oh God, time for me to go.
and try to process what we've seen here. So for those who don't know, this is where that clip was taken from. This is, in fact, you can see there is Al-Jilani himself there, and there is former General David Petraeus at this group called Concordia having their annual summit, which, if you ever heard of Concordia, which I hadn't, to tell the truth, it's a huge globalist outfit. Premier global convener of heads of state, government officials, C-suite executives, that means like CEOs and CFOs and such, leaders from nonprofits, think tanks, and foundations dedicated to market-driven cross-sector solutions to the world's most pressing challenges. So it's a globalist organization. That's what Concordia is. And they have General David Petraeus interviewing this guy. This is Al-Jilani posing with the heads of some of the infidels he has murdered. I don't know if this was taken 1 year ago when he was murdering Christians in Syria, or 2 weeks ago. I don't think it was 2 weeks ago anymore. He's put on a suit now. In fact, here he is, a member of Al-Qaeda, posing in front of New York City, here in lovely Central Park. And here he is to come to the UN summit in New York City, where this guy, Mohammed Al-Jilani, was, until earlier this year, had a $10 million bounty from the U.S. Department of Justice. Stop this terrorist. And they have a convenient little bio of him over here. Mohammed Al-Jilani, also known as, and it's spelled in a bunch of different ways, leader of the senior leader of the terrorist organization, the Al-Nusra Front, Al-Qaeda's affiliate in Syria. Under Al-Jilani's leadership, Al-ANF has carried out multiple terrorist attacks throughout Syria, often targeting civilians. The U.S. government is offering a reward of up to $10 million for information about Al-Jilani. And there is a nice bio of him about this website here, noting that this guy has actually been involved in many terrorist organizations over the years, starting with Al-Qaeda itself. And Jilani's path to victory in Syria steeped in blood and allegiance to Al-Qaeda. He joined Al-Qaeda in Iraq after the U.S. invasion in 2003, and battled U.S. forces. Wonder how many Americans he killed, until being captured and detained for 5 years at Camp Bucca, a prison that was effectively run by Al-Qaeda on the inside. Jilani was a close associate of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi before the latter was killed in the U.S. in 2006. And then after his release, he reported to Abu al-Bakr al-Baghdadi, who became the senior leader of Al-Qaeda's Islamic State of Iraq. So that's ISIS, the other radical Islamic jihadist terrorist organization. Jilani returned to Syria during the so-called Arab Spring and the uprising against Assad and became Al-Qaeda's leader in that country. They had a dispute, Baghdadi and Jilani did, about who was to lead the jihad in Syria. Baghdadi wanted Jilani to report to him while Jilani sought autonomy. The dispute was brought to Ayman al-Zawahiri, Al-Qaeda's emir, who sided with Jilani. This disagreement ultimately led to Baghdadi's defiance and Zawahiri ejecting the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria from Al-Qaeda. So there you go. This guy was a member of Al-Qaeda, followed by a member of ISIS, followed by a member of al-Nusra, and then it became known as HTS, the Hayat Tahrir al-Sham organization, which the State Department, until the end of last year, described as an Al-Qaeda branch. That's who this guy is in New York City. And here's some lovely
on the left.
That's him on the left. Yeah, that's this same guy.
Okay. And I'm sorry, is he like with Mandami or something? What's the point of this?
He is now, they call him the president of Syria, as though someone elected him. He is now the dictator of, there's no longer any such country as Syria. There is now only Al-Qaedastan. This guy overthrew the government of Syria, which is now Al-Qaedastan, and he came to New York City to address the UN General Assembly as the president. They call him the president of Syria. And here's a nice photo of him with Marco Rubio. Rubio made this nice post here on X. I met with Syrian President al-Shara about our shared goals for a stable and sovereign Syria and ongoing efforts to bring security and prosperity to all Syrians. We also discussed implementing President Trump's historic announcement on sanctions relief and the importance of Israel-Syria relations. Oh, there it is, folks. There's not one day that can go by that Trump is not working for Israel. So here you go, the Marco Rubio. So important. This is important, Mr. Terrorist Dictator Leader. Keep Israel on your good side. And this is all about too, by the way. So here's this Al-Qaeda American murdering terrorist Christian genociding head chopper shaking Donald Trump's hand. You see Trump loves the guy. He's got both hands on his, and look, he's smiling ear to ear. He always has this dead stare look in his eyes, even when he's smiling. And then here they are again. Trump's.
Melania knows though. It's the women we know.
yeah, maybe. Well, but speaking of that though, actually this is him meeting with Giorgia Meloni. The prime minister of Italy, and
everyone though. She was making eyes at Elon too.
DG Geopolitics had a funny comment. She said, "Find a girl who looks at you the way Giorgia Meloni looks at ISIS head chopper Al-Jilani."
Oh, jeez.
So there he is wearing that $50,000 watch he's got on there, and Meloni's flirting with him. Here is, of course, with here he is with Zelensky. With Zelensky. Someone had a funny caption of this photo. In this photo, a terrorist who seized power through an armed coup under his leadership. Murders, kidnappings, torture, child recruitment, persecution of Christians, looting and arson of homes, killings of civilians, including women, elders, and children. He oppresses his own people. Rampant corruption at every level. And next, about Al-Jilani. So there they are. They almost look like brothers, too. It's amazing. The resemblance is uncanny. There's someone else posted this. I saw this on X. What I thought 2025 would look like, and 2025, and there it is. The Al-Qaeda leader speaks at the United Nations. So there it is, folks. How does anyone respond to this? I'm just in a state of shock and disbelief. Like this is high treason. Yeah. Barry Altman says this is very disturbing. Yet 3,000 plus Americans died on September 11th in the attacks that were carried out by Al-Qaeda. According to the official government account of 9/11. And now an Al-Qaeda general is walking the streets of New York. Well, he's home now. He's home now in Syria. It's probably chopping off more heads of Christians. Thousands of Americans fought and died against Al-Qaeda. And now we're buddies with an Al-Qaeda general. with a guy who chops off the heads of his enemies, where to this day they are slaughtering Christians in Syria. And nobody in the media is talking about this. Not where is the conservative media talking about this? The people who are supposed to care about Americans and American soldiers, they're not saying one word about it. They don't mind at all. And where's the Democrat media talking about this? They're not talking about this at all. And anyone want to guess why this is? Because I could tell you. There's a simple reason. He was the guy that took out Assad. And Assad was an enemy of Israel. And al-Sharaa will be Israel's puppet. And that's all there is to it, folks. Who cares if they murder Americans? They're working for Israel. So it's all good. How does any American ever get past this? How does any Trump supporter get past this? I mean, Mark, honestly, I'm asking you, buddy. You're mad at me for being an opponent of Donald Trump. Why is Donald Trump shaking the hands of ISIS terrorists? Why doesn't he put a bullet in that guy's head and let the people of New York City spend the next week and a half pissing on his corpse? That's what he should have done.
Well, I mean, I think the people of New York City have forgotten too.
What about that never forget stuff? Never forget the September 11th attacks. Now a fucking general of Al-Qaeda is walking. I mean, it was bad enough when he met him in the Middle East, and I think it was in Qatar, I think it was in May or June. But to let him come to on U.S. soil is just nauseating to me. And the fact that nobody in the media talks about this.
I didn't hear about it. I didn't know what you were even talking about.
Nobody heard about this.
Yeah.
And Al-Qaeda, and a man who murdered Americans, a man who fought against Americans in Iraq. How many U.S. soldiers did this man kill? And he's allowed on our soil. And welcomed by Marco Rubio and President Trump. Yeah, Barry says Assad defended Christians in the 20-teens. Yeah, they accused him of gassing his own people. That was a freaking lie. Assad was a Christian. He went to college in the United States. He was an ophthalmologist. He was an eye doctor like Rand Paul was. You see any videos of Assad? He was as mild mannered as anyone ever got. And he kept that war-torn country together. Now they're just murdering people. It's obscene. There is. I mean, how do you get your head around this without just denying it? Norm says Biden. I don't know if he just has to sign off or just he.
Probably he's just saying bye to me. I think bye, Norm.
Okay, but who knows? But that, I mean, how does anybody turn away from this? How does anyone pretend this isn't happening? It boggles my mind. How does the military's not talking about this? The media's not talking about this. No one's talking about this. It's like it doesn't even exist. But it does exist, and it is happening. And it's as bad to me as when a civil rights icon is assassinated and half the country roots for his murder, and you wonder what kind of world are we living in? That a field general of Al-Qaeda walks in the United States and is allowed to breathe our air and visit New York City and take photos with the New York skyline where 3 buildings are missing.
Speaking of, did you see that Adams dropped out today?
No, I didn't see that. They're circling the wagons against Mandani because, again, Israel. Oh well, whatever. Who cares? Look at the Republican to drop out too, I'm sure, to make it all about Israel. That's what it's going to be, a referendum on Israel. Get all the candidates against Mandani. I was listening to a long time ago, Norman Finkelstein, who lives in New York, was talking about this. He's like, dude, I've gotten literally, before the primary, 20 mailers, and all of them just say, Mandani is anti-Israel. He's going to commit another Holocaust. Vote against him because we need to support Israel and blah, blah, blah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I just can't get past this. This is high treason. And I don't care if the whole world doesn't want to call it out. I still will. We have had a terrorist Al-Qaeda ringleader in the United States. It's unflippin' believable. And every single person who has any connections to President Trump whatsoever should have been screaming at the top of their lungs, what in the world are you doing? Shaking the hands. Remember what Trump said? He's had a strong past, was what Trump said. He's had a strong past, this guy. Yeah, strong past. He's a very strong arms sawing those people's heads off. Anyway, all right, I'll stop ranting. I can tell you I'm making you uncomfortable, Patty. But it makes me uncomfortable feeling I'm the only one on planet Earth that
well, nobody knew about it. I didn't know about it. Obviously, it's not good. But I mean,
what does that say about our media? That nobody.
Well,
the Democrats would use this if they could. They don't disapprove, or else they would talk about this. But the Republicans aren't talking about this either, because Trump's our guy. So who cares if he shakes the hand of someone that murdered American citizens?
Yeah, I mean, you can't have blind. You have to look at him objectively. Yeah.
Mark says it's not just me. What about the people who voted for Trump in the last year's election for him to return to the White House?
We didn't vote for him to do this. We didn't vote for him to do this.
Yeah. Trump is going to be president for the next 3+ years. And as I keep saying, if people don't call out the bad things he's doing, he will do more and more of them. But it goes.
Excuse me.
So then the other story, the other, I guess, big topic tonight is this spat of pro-terror activity in Michigan. And I guess we don't know yet what the move of the shooter is in Grand Blanc.
Yeah, I don't know. They're saying it's this name. I don't know.
What could it possibly be? Who in the world would try to murder as many people in a church as they possibly could? I mean, barring some kind of we're up to 4 now. Whether or not that includes the shooter, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, it just reminds me, and again, obviously, you don't want to say anything as an official pronouncement until you know all the facts, but what does this appear like? Why in the world are we right in the heels of Charlie
Let's be clear, though. It was a church, but it was Latter-day Saints church.
So what? So like a different denomination would have committed that kind of a crime against the Latter-day Saints?
Well, it was the Mormon church, and the guy who killed Charlie Kirk was a Mormon. So there's speculation that it could be something like connected to that. Speculation. I have no clue, you guys.
Yeah, speculation indeed. Well, speaking of which, professional speculator Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air. No, I guess we'll see. I mean, we will see.
Oh, Megyn Kelly eviscerated him. It was so good.
Yeah, and again, this is a rallying call for concern. He's back on the air. ABC, Disney has just told all of you that they are pro-assassination. They are pro-slandering and libeling a victim of an assassination. And he's far from alone. Gavin Newsom has been going all week long, intentionally trying to
his governor's office account on Twitter. Someone's like,
yeah, they said Charlie. They said Stephen Miller is a fascist! Exclamation point. To which Stephen Miller had the perfect response. He had Stephen Miller the exact perfect response. He wrote back and says, "Why do you think they posted this?"
And the same account replied and said, "Because you're a fascist." Like they doubled down.
Because they want you dead, which is obviously what it's all about, and this is what they are doing. So we've heard Trump is apparently mobilizing people against the government against Antifa. We shall see. He did declare them a domestic terrorist organization. He should have declared them a foreign terrorist organization. He'd have a lot more legal authority to do a lot more things to them. Had he done that?
Well, they're probably funded internationally, right? I mean,
of course they are. They're funded by George Soros.
Yeah,
and they come from Germany. They were born in Germany and Italy, in the World War II era. In fact, somewhere on my Twitter feed, I've got like
it goes back that long. I thought they just created it now. I don't know.
Oh no, it's very well. What it is today is a reincarnation of it, but it goes back a very long way.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I saw. Here's a great example. This came up on X. I saw this on my feed. How do I make this full screen? Hold on. This was someone posted this the other day. And by the way, what her shirt says? It says "Make America Kind Again." That's what she's on her shirt.
She's kind.
And wait till it turns around. What do you see what the back of her shirt says? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Oh my God, get a screenshot of that. That's funny. Wait a minute, where they're speaking a foreign language though, isn't he? In the microphone?
I don't know what they were yamming about, but this looks like an American crowd to me.
I don't know. I thought I heard. Anyway, maybe not.
Stop the Trump agenda. There's an 86-47. I'm sure there more incitement to terrorism. There's someone in a green jacket, either probably National Lawyers Guild, probably trying to protect them. This is what the left is doing. They are doing this all over the country. I mean, imagine the cognitive dissonance to have this. I mean, this woman obviously does not want to be beaten to death in effigy by anybody else. But this is what the left has been inciting their people to do. And why is it no surprise then that there has been this spate of anti-conservative violence? And and one of the organs that's been a big promoter of this is the University of Michigan. So here's just a sampling of stories this week. We were talking earlier about how they didn't put their flag at half-mast, but there is these two professors, both of who glorified the murder of Charlie Kirk. And they are, the University of Michigan announced they invest $50 million taxpayer dollars to build a center dedicated to diversity and civil discourse. These two both, and there might be some things in the comments about these two.
Well, that's the thing that Sarah was talking about. I think that might be. Is it taxpayer? I thought Weiser was making a donation to make that. He was calling it the Center for Free Speech or something.
That wouldn't surprise me either. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, folks, but Ron Weiser, he's given tons of money to the Michigan Republican Party, but he's given a lot more, orders of magnitude more to the University of Michigan. But both of these two, I didn't pull up the stories of them, but these have both been in the all over conservative Twitter for the past couple weeks for posting incendiary remarks about Charlie Kirk and lying about his legacy. There's another one.
I just got a text, Adam, that our broadcast dropped on Twitter and Facebook.
Oh, that's weird. It's still showing as live for me.
Oh, okay.
Well, we are on Rumble, I think.
No, and now it says Facebook is back up. Okay.
Okay, yeah, those things happen. So it looks like we're still live on Rumble, so we'll always have the archive video too. But anyway, so here's from Campus Reform. Another one. University of Michigan faculty Senate Chair Derek Peterson criticized Charlie Kirk in a faculty-read email. Didn't wait for the guy's body to be buried before putting this out. Claiming he opposed academic freedom, endangered faculty members whose professor. Oh, imagine the crime this guy committed, Charlie Kirk. He had a list of radical professors teaching radical ideology based on reports from first-hand reports from students. And how dare Charlie Kirk report on what the University of Michigan teaches its students? That endangers faculty members, apparently, allegedly. It reminds me of there's a funny comment from I saw this on X this week. This from Milo. So there's a story. Activists are now calling Turning Point USA's new speakers extremely dangerous to college campuses, warning that their presence threatens the safety of students, blah, blah, blah. So Milo says, you see, if Republicans come to campus, we might try to kill them. And that's dangerous, which is that's the gist of it right there. That's just it right there. They don't care that, that Charlie Kirk was just murdered. They're afraid that the outcome of Charlie Kirk's murder might be that there is restrictions on their ability to incite more Democrats and leftists to commit murders. And we have also this story here from Central Michigan University. They are requiring, this is a long thread. So if you want to read this, it's on Thread Reader somewhere. Requiring prospective students to read and discuss an article on white privilege. There'll be a group discussion on the article to determine acceptance into their counseling program. I have the whistleblower document.
Have you seen the Beavis and Butthead skit on white privilege?
I have not, no.
Oh, it's really funny.
Yeah, maybe I have. It sounds kind of familiar.
They're like, we do? We have white privilege?
Oh yeah, that's right. Then they go on everywhere, just break things. Hey, I got
stuff from people, taking their food.
Like privilege and stuff. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. So anyway, this goes on, and this is a long article on what these people require their prospective students to do and what they require them to read. And this goes on and on. There's of course the professor teaching this stuff, and the required reading before the group interview. And this just goes on and on and on. You can find the whole thread on it's on my X feeder. Obviously, it's Corey DeAngelis, no relation, who posted this. So there's that rabbit hole if you want to go down. But hey, here's the thing, folks. Michigan State budget's coming up. You think Republicans are going to sanction U of M or Central Michigan University for any of these things that they're doing? You know, they're going to put a stop to it? My money's on no.
Oh, speaking of U of M, there's 2 candidates who announced for regent.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's from Republicans running for regent? Okay. Anybody we know? Who's that?
Yeah, Lena Epstein and Michael Shostak.
I'm sure related to Bobby.
I believe. I don't know. That's kind of a big family, I think. I don't know. But he is the current treasurer of Bloomfield Township. Does that sound right? Yeah. Anyway, they were up in Mackinac.
Lena Epstein. I remember the speech she gave when she ran for state chair. Like, you guys, I've got a lot of money. I've got like a lot of money. I've got so many companies that make so much money. If you make me your chairman, when you make me your chairman, I'm going to share some of that money with you guys. That's like her speech. We'll see. Who knows? Mark says Lena is awesome. What do I know? We'll see. And we got another one in Michigan. This is a congressional candidate in the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
Shelby Campbell. And here's her original video right here.
Wayne County. Hello, Wayne County. She's from Chicago. She moved here during COVID.
Back. Hey, MAGA, how bad does it hurt? The Jimmy Kimmel's back, but you guys can't get your person back.
Yeah, that's her. She's very happy that Charlie Kirk has been murdered. But Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air. Jimmy Kimmel, we can get back on the air. Can't get Charlie Kirk back. Ha 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 ha. She made a follow-up video. She's so happy about this. She's so proud of herself. Here's what she posted next.
White person. Hi, Michiganders, specifically Detroiters. Do you guys care that Charlie Kirk has passed away? Yeah, I didn't think so because my district is primarily Black people. And Charlie Kirk said awful things about Black people. So, no.
They never say what he actually said because he didn't ever say anything awful about Black people. They're just wildly crazy. By the way, this is Shelly Campbell. This is her Ballotpedia survey. Who are you? Tell us about yourself. My name is Shelby Campbell. A proud auto worker, a third-generation member of UAW.
Oh, she's not from. Okay, where did I read that she was in Chicago and came back? That's her.
Oh, she's from Chicago. Deep roots in the labor movement. You know, the transmission belt to the left. Deep roots in the labor movement on both sides of my family. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I graduated from Wayne State University with a degree in political science. Always a useful degree. Completed half of my legal education at the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law. Is she a lawyer? I don't know. Probably not. In addition to my work in the auto industry, I've spent years working in the service sector as a server and bartender. I'm also an advocate for workers' rights, especially those industries that are often overlooked or underrepresented. I grew up in Rockford, Illinois, suburb of Chicago.
Oh.
Relocated to Michigan during the COVID-19 pandemic. Since moving here, I've found stability and a strong sense of purpose, both as a mother to my 2 boys, whom I proudly breastfed, and as an engaged community member.
Okay.
And then here's her.
She moved here 5 years ago. Is that when she went to Wayne State and UDM?
Who knows? Yeah, Mark says she's not going to win. Nobody cares about her. Probably true. Obviously, she's running against the incumbent Sri Thanadar, who has a lot of problems of his own within the Democrat Party, but probably not enough to be insurmountable for him not to keep the seat. But who knows? We'll see.
He endorsed Haley Stevens?
I'm sure he would.
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's in trouble lately. Did you see that?
No, what did she do these days?
Apparently they had a high dollar fundraiser for Kristen Gillibrand had a high dollar fundraiser in Napa, and Haley Stevens was like the keynote or whatever. It was basically a fundraiser for her, maybe. I don't know. So she's getting a lot of blowback from the left wing of Said and McMarxist. So
for what exactly? I don't quite follow.
Because now, I mean, believe it or not, Haley Stevens is the establishment. I mean, she's like who was waving her hands crazy, on the floor of the House with the pink gloves on. She's like considered the most moderate of those 3. So the 2 to the left of her are going after her for, big donations or, whatever, having this high dollar, elitist event or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, anyway, a couple other things to talk about this week. And again, just to wrap up the point on that, Yeah, the Democrats have now become the official party of terrorism. That is what they are. There's no exceptions. It's unreal. These people are disgusting and sick and evil.
DSCC fundraiser, Detroit Democrat senatorial.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. So one thing that is awesome is that Turning Point USA is going back on tour. I don't have any Michigan dates scheduled.
I know. I looked. Then I was like, should I go to Florida? I was gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very proud of them that they are showing their courage and they're not backing down.
There's still vigils going on too. I keep seeing some stuff. Yeah.
Well, good. I only wish there were more. And I hope that Trump starts naming a lot of things after Charlie Kirk too. When's that going to happen? I want to see USS Charlie Kirk. I did see there was a lot of criticism. There's a post that the U.S. Mint is going to make a bunch of Charlie Kirk silver dollars, which just like, yeah, I mean, on one hand, it goes along with what I was saying. I think the government should be issuing as many ways they can memorialize Charlie Kirk as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
They should do it. But at the same time, like, that's not an excuse. In fact, I'm having trouble finding the post now. But someone made a comment how when the Trump administration wanted to go after the enemies of Israel, they got it done quick. I mean, it was days. And they were like, all right, we're going to deport anybody that said anything critical of Israel right now. They had no trouble getting that done. But when is they going to start deporting all these citizens for doing the same thing, celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk? When's that going to happen?
No.
We shall see. There's also this other story. This guy, let me, I didn't pull a picture of him up, but I'll get it. There's now officially the new Charlie Kirk, who I've never heard of before, but then apparently all over Twitter in like the last couple of days, he was immediately placed on Fox News, and they're going around saying that this guy is the next Charlie Kirk. Here is okay, I did find the post. Let me put it up on the screen. Brylan Hollyhand is apparently the guy's name, and here is the post. He appeared on Fox News a mere hour after Donald Trump announced the death of Charlie Kirk to profess, while smiling, he was more energized than ever to carry his torch and to carry on his legacy. Since then, Hollyhand, who's vocally pro-Israel, has been propped up by Fox News and the Ben Shapiro show.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah. So this guy looks to me like he was grown in a petri dish in a DARPA laboratory. But we'll see. I've never heard of him before, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this guy.
I've never heard of him. Yeah, I don't know.
But now he's the next Charlie Kirk.
Well, self-proclaimed, whatever. It doesn't mean anything.
Next Charlie Kirk is Turning Point USA, and the people who are going on the campus tours, and
it could be one of our awesome young guys here in Michigan. There's so many.
Yeah,
there were from there, Miguel and
and they're announcing that the Turning Point show, they're going to have like rotating people hosting the show who are very close to Charlie. So I'm so relieved they're keeping Turning Point on Charlie's message and not on the conservative Inc. message. So good for them.
Mm-hmm.
There was another story this week that I feel like if I didn't cover, I'd be neglecting it. Although it is hard to process, and this is a post from President Trump on his Truth Social. Let me make this smaller here.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you guys have seen this one. Let's read this, shall we? This is a post he made, I want to say 3 or 4 days ago. Let's see here. Can I scroll down? Okay, okay, hold on. It was September 23rd, so it was 5 days ago. After getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine/Russia military and economic situation, and after seeing the economic trouble that's causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win all of Ukraine back in its original form. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe, and in particular NATO, the original borders from where this war started is very much an option. Why not? Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years, a war that should have taken a real military power less than a week to win. This is not distinguishing Russia. In fact, it's very much making them look like a paper tiger. Trump has already walked back that line, by the way. I think he wouldn't call Russia a paper tiger again. When the people living in Moscow and all the great cities, towns, and districts all throughout Russia, I bet he couldn't name one, find out what is really going on in this war, the fact that it's almost impossible for them to get gasoline through the long lines that are being formed, I have no idea where these things come from. It just makes it up or what. and all the other things that are taking place in their war economy, where most of their money is being spent on fighting Ukraine, which has great spirit and only getting better. Ukraine would be able to take back their country in its original form, and who knows, maybe go further than that. Putin and Russia are in big economic trouble, and it is the time for Ukraine to act. In any event, I wish both countries well. We'll continue to supply weapons to NATO for NATO to do what they want with them. Good luck to all. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Now,
good luck to all. Thank you for your attention in this matter.
My first reaction was, this is the dumbest thing that Trump has ever said in his entire life, and that's saying something. In fact, here is armchair warlord venting for a bit about taking this all down piece by piece, of which there's absolutely no point in doing so.
Yeah.
But there is another angle to this that others have pointed out, including European pro-Ukraine type people, which is that beneath all of the rhetoric, this sounds like it's actually being kind of sarcastic. That the real angle is, you guys, everyone's telling me how Ukraine is winning. Keith Kellogg says Ukraine's winning. Europe says Ukraine's winning. Zelensky says Ukraine is winning. So, okay, so I guess we don't need to help you out anymore. And there's also noticeably these little insertions here. Let me read this with a little bit of emphasis. With time, patience, and the financial support of Europe. And then, of course, he says that again further down here. Where does he say? Let's see here. I guess that's maybe the only place where he said it. I thought there was more. Oh, yeah, here it is. Right, it's above it. I think Ukraine, with the support of the European Union, is in a position to fight and win. So what the angle is, that what Trump is actually trying to do is extricate himself from supporting Ukraine by saying, hey, this is Europe's problem. And Europe, if only Europe would give Ukraine more money and weapons, as if they could, if only Europe would sanction China and India, which they can't because their economies all depend on, trade with these countries, then Ukraine could just win. So I guess I guess it's Europe's fault if Ukraine loses this war as they're about to. That's the 4D chess angle on this post, which, that's all well and good, but there is still what this statement is at face value, and the reality that Trump just keeps on stringing everybody along. And at some point, they're going to call this in and say, we need you now. You keep telling us you're here for us and you're going to support Ukraine and da-da-da-da-da. Here's another one from this week. This is from J.D. Vance, the vice president. Articles, the Washington administration, the Trump administration, discussing the possibility of supplying Tomahawk cruise missiles to other NATO countries for their subsequent transfer to Kiev, or Kyiv as they call it. The final decision will be made by American leader Donald Trump. Quote from J.D. Vance. You are asking about Tomahawk. The final decision on this will be made by the president. The president will do what best serves the interests of the United States. That is the driving force behind his decisions in foreign policy and defense. And we will apply the same logic in answering this question about Tomahawk. Let the president speak on this, but I know we are discussing this issue right now. And then Keith Kellogg says the same thing. The administration has not yet made a decision on the possibility of supplying Tomahawk cruise missiles to other NATO countries for their transfer to Kiev. And Kellogg says the decision has not been made, but I know that Zelensky did indeed ask for them. Now, here's the thing, folks. Tomahawk cruise missiles can carry nuclear weapons. So you can't transfer them to Russia, or else we're provoking nuclear war with Russia. So why is Trump, prancing around this issue of maybe we'll give them Tomahawks and maybe we won't, maybe we'll support Ukraine, maybe we won't? If he just come out and said, hey, this war was Joe Biden's war, it's failed, everything we try to do has failed, we're not going to pile on failure, we're done. He could have walked away on January 21st. And he keeps trying to play both sides. He met with Keir Starmer at a state visit in Britain last week.
Oh yeah, I watched a little bit of that.
Look, why is he hanging out with these losers? Keir Starmer's, his popularity is like minus 66 percentage points. He's so unpopular in Britain. Emmanuel Macron, his popularity is like 12% in France. These people are hated by they're complete losers.
Yeah, they're hated, but he keeps winning. How many times has Macron won?
Well, they only have elections every 5 years in France.
No, they've had them so many times.
No, they keep having these government elections, which are not by the people. They just lost another government. They've gone through like their fourth prime minister now because they've had a vote of no confidence and they fired the prime minister. But Macron just won't leave. So the last time when they formed the government, Macron's party came in like 10th place. So the center right and the center left got together to deny Le Pen's party, the National Rally Party, to have the governing coalition in the French legislature. Mm-hmm. Macron's hated in France. Same with Meloni; she's completely unpopular. Same with Frederick Merz in Germany. These countries.
Meloni, I mean, when she first came on the scene, everybody thought she'd be good, right?
Yeah, Zelensky's unpopular in his country, for crying out loud. Although they can't tell you that because they can't take a survey on the phone without suspecting like the security services are listening in. No. But there's a reason why they haven't had elections in Ukraine for a long time, and Zelensky's long past his term because they know he'll lose. These are who Trump keeps hanging out with. If Trump just like did the courageous thing and went to Moscow and sort of things out with Putin, said, "Sorry, I'm talking to the actual players in the world now," people understand. MAGA would understand. If MAGA can understand Trump shaking hands with Al-Qaeda terrorist leader al-Jawlani, they get over him shaking hands with Putin, who most of us remember was framed as the reason why Trump's whole first presidential term had to be crippled.
Careful, Barry. Candace Owens getting sued about that.
Yeah, Macron's married to a dude. Yeah, if Candace Owens gets a $1.5 billion judgment against her, she'll have still won that one. Because Macron's reputation is doomed forever over that. Anyway. I don't get it. Again, I don't know what Trump is thinking, because sooner or later, Russia's going to win the war, and then he thinks he's going to get out of this by just saying it wasn't my war, it was Biden's war, it was Britain's war. Oh yeah, don't worry, the mass media is going to totally not hold him to account on that one.
Do you want to talk about the Michigan budget at all?
The only notes I have for stuff we haven't covered just yet was I got the article you sent me about Kash Patel.
For J6, yeah.
January 6th, that was another story we were going to cover. I mean, what do you want to say about the Michigan budget? I don't have things in front of me, so I can really talk about it. But I think the bottom line is, well, there's also the federal budget, which is going to be shut down in 3 days unless they.
Didn't they promise us there wouldn't be another CR? Of
course they did. they have lied and lied and lied and lied about this, and Trump is actively lobbying to pass a CR now. You guys know what a CR means? It means they extending the COVID era, Joe Biden era, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer budgets. That's what they're extending. But that's what a CR does. Extends the Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, Democrat-controlled budgets for another year, or however long they set it for, until it runs out again, and then do the same song and dance yet again. Oh, we can't get the House and Senate to agree on a budget, so we're running out of time. We're out of time. We'll shut down. There is actually this story, which is that if the Democrats shut down the government in October, Trump has ordered Russ Vought, one of the few good guys in his administration, to permanently eliminate jobs when discretionary funding lapses and no alternative funding sources available. All the more reason to do it. All the more reason to shut down the federal government. Will he do it? We'll find out. We'll know by next week. But what about the state budget? Have you heard? Are they going to get that done in the next 3 days? That's how much time they got.
I thought it was done, but now I'm hearing maybe not. I don't know. I thought they reached an agreement.
We'll see. My money is on that no meaningful cuts will have taken place to any of these anti-American universities. No meaningful cuts will have taken place, period. We'll see. We'll see what their road funding deal is, but I don't know. We shall find out. We shall see what happens. Again, I would say shut the government down. It's Whitmer's government, but we'll see what they do. All right. The other thing, just the Kash Patel story, since you sent this to me, Patty, and I wanted to mention this. So FBI's Patel clarifies role in hundreds of agents on January 6th, says Chris Wray lied to Congress. So the story in this is that Donald Trump made this claim. It was just revealed that the FBI has secretly placed, against all rules, regulations, protocols, and standards, 274 FBI agents into the crowd just prior to and during the January 6th hoax. This is different from what FBI Director Christopher Wray stated. over and over again. That's right. As it now turns out, the FBI agents were at and in the January 6th protest, probably acting as agitators and insurrectionists, but certainly not as law enforcement officials. That's what Trump said. What FBI Director Kash Patel says is agents were sent into the crowd control mission after the riot was declared by Metro Police, something that goes against FBI standards. This was about a failure of corrupt leadership that lied to Congress and to the American people about what really happened. Well, yeah, that's probably true. But that's not the same as what Trump said. Trump said the FBI agents were sent into the crowd to agitate, and Kash Patel says they were sent in after the riot was declared. So which is it? Who's lying?
Oh.
I wonder. Still not good. And you know, who's to say? Who knows? I suspect Trump's telling the truth more than Patel is. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if FBI agents were involved in agitating for January 6th. That's what my gut tells me. That's what Trump's gut tells me.
Kash has been kind of in effect. We need to go back and look at our scores and see how everybody's doing so far. We should do that.
Maybe next week. I'll bring up the old tier list and see how Trump's appointees are doing.
Yeah.
So, although it's hard to believe, we are more than 8 months in now, and I don't think Trump's fired a single one of them. Remember
that I know. Yeah, he hasn't. Isn't that weird?
In the first term, he fired people left and right.
Yeah.
Maybe he fired one of them. You know, he might actually get some folks in line. Should have fired Mike Waltz. Should have fired Marco Rubio.
Well, he kind of sidelined him. I mean, I guess
sidelined him still. Kept him on. Oh,
I forgot what he did now. Oh my God, it's all running. Everything's running together.
He accidentally looped in a reporter from
was that the signal chat thing?
on a national security text thread where they're discussing kind of glibly discussing the murderous of a bunch of civilians that without evidence were
the signal chat
terrorists in Yemen. Yeah. He's also been murdering a bunch of people in boats they claim are drug boats with no evidence, but that's a whole other story. Why don't they just apprehend them then? Prove they're drug boats. Who knows? But anyway. All right, guys. I'm exhausted. How about sorry, Pat, I didn't mean to take you off there. But is there anything else, Pat? You got any events coming up?
I just had a candidate forum on Tuesday for Plymouth City Commission, nonpartisan candidate forum. Okay. And that was Tuesday. That went really well. I had more people than I did last time, so that's good. We did Plymouth Downtown Day yesterday, and we collected signatures for the citizens only voting. We have probably something in the works, maybe the last week of October, but stay tuned on that one. And then I saw your email about the tax increase coming to Washtenaw County.
Yeah, we've got a Washtenaw County project coming. This is a website I just threw together. Citizens Against Regressive Taxes. And here's the website, citizensagainstregressivetaxes.com or .org. You can see the spelling right there, citizensagainstregressivetaxes.com or .org. And they're putting a $1 million tax hike on the Washtenaw County ballot, which works out to $250 million in 10 years. It's to fund a CTE program at Washtenaw Intermediate School District, which is it's a weird thing. The Washtenaw Intermediate School District is not a school district. It's not like the Ann Arbor Public Schools is a school district. It's a completely separate entity. We already have like CTE programs in our regular schools and also at Washtenaw Community College. Like, let's just throw another $250 million into the taking out the taxpayers for that. So being a liberal county, you see what the messaging, the idea is. This is going against affordable housing, which it is, and that these taxes are regressive because they're, as opposed to tiered taxes. They are a flat tax on the taxable state equalized value of your home. So anyway, hoping we got the word about that. And if you're in Washtenaw County, go to that website. You can make a donation, request a yard sign, or sign up to volunteer. So yep, that's what we got going on.
Oh yeah. Oh, in downtown Plymouth yesterday too, they had a table set up for the millage or the transportation survey. I think I had talked about that before, how they took away our right to opt out in the lame duck session.
Yeah.
So for us and a lot all over here west of 275 and then downriver, it's a tax increase. So the other communities in Livonia, and then in the other communities, it's a renewal. So the survey was similar to the bias one that they had online. Like they had a board with all these things. What would you use the transit for? And all these things, but not a single one was, I would not use it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, and so, and then the other thing was they said, and nowhere did it say, oh, by the way, this comes with a tax increase, you know, and there's no guarantee of service. So I was over there talking to the guy, and I was kind of started, you know, saying some facts, and I could see him like kind of shutting down.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're presenting this as like, you know, it's not like, would you use transit? It was more like, how great is transit? You know, and you think that we're going to have something that's going to take us from Plymouth to Northville? You think that's what SMART's going to do? Or they want our money because they're $72 million in the hole on their pension, and they need another donor. They need us to be donor communities. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So pay attention, you guys. Local, Wayne County, Washtenaw County. There's a lot going on right under your nose.
There is an election coming up, so if you haven't gotten your ballot already, go.
Yep. So if you live in a city, and go reach out, see if there's any candidates that you can help out. We can maybe win some city council races.
Yep. All right, guys, that will do it for us for tonight. Thanks again for tuning in. Until next time. Oh, and Mark Ashley Price says, please run for local office, everyone, like city council and school board. Yes, absolutely. If you can.
That's next year, school board, everything.
If you can do it, if you can do it, if you're ready, it's a tough thing, but we're always looking for candidates, and there's never enough.
Yeah.
And it is hard work, but we need to do it to take back our country. All right, guys, that'll do it for us for tonight. Until next time, thanks as always for Audio for Liberty.
Good night.